Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2018 mid-month general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers, and thank you for all those of you who follow my channel, like, share, subscribe. Your support and feedback and comments are always appreciated. Thank you so much for those. And always a thank you to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings, my regular clients and my new clients as well. As I always say and I mean, it's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. And if any of you out there are interested in a personal reading with me and you haven't read with me before, or you have and you've forgotten the information, you can find my contact info attached to the description of every video I post. And you can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button, and that'll give you a little more information about what I do, the services I offer. I do a wide variety of readings. Really popular this time of year as we're starting a new year are the 6 and 12 month overviews too. A lot of people request those for themselves or as gifts for friends, family, and loved ones, but I do a lot of variety of readings, and turnaround time for personal readings is usually pretty fast because I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week, and I can always get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And scheduling can be anywhere from a few days if I get cancellations or reschedules, upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time or so. We can set up a personal reading for you, live or recorded. And again, you can find my contact info by clicking on the About button on my channel's homepage, or just by looking at the description under every video I post. You can email me. And for those of you who are not looking for a longer intensive reading, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo for more immediate answers to those quick questions you have, like you have a decision you want to make on the fly, a relationship you want to take a quick look at, anything like that. Under the same name, Irish Gypsy, it's a smartphone app, Instantgo. You can find the link to that also attached to my About button and the description of my videos. So let's move right into this reading. We're looking at January mid-month for the fire sign of Sagittarius. Remember to check your rising and your moon sign as well. They may give you additional insight and clarification, and they may resonate a little more predictively for you too, because of course these are general readings. There's many of you watching, so for some of you it may resonate a little differently in different areas of your life, although the energy remains the same. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's in store for January, the last half of January. So since we're only looking at the last couple of weeks, it's half the cards I usually use at the beginning of the month, so 2 cards for each week, 4 cards with an additional 5th card from the bottom of the deck representing overall energy. So Sagittarius, you have the Ace of Pentacles, clarified and accompanied by strength, and you have the 7 of Wands clarified by the 7 of Pentacles. Your overall energy is the Fool, my favorite card in the tarot. So almost half your reading is major arcana cards, Sagittarius. So it looks like the last half of January is going to be pretty significant and important, or potentially is significant and important. We find ourselves around the middle of January. I am recording these around the beginning of the second week or so. As I always say, time is somewhat fluid. We have the Ace of Pentacles and Strength. So Pentacles is earth energy. And in the tarot, the energy of this suit usually reflects in the earthly area of our life, things that are tangible that we can see and touch and feel. Often things like practical things like money, finances, property, real estate, job, etc. Aces represent the number 1s, a new start, a new beginning, a new opportunity. So this is a tangible new opportunity. This is a tangible new opportunity or beginning that makes a difference in our practical, tangible life. This card often comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job. It can sometimes represent receiving a sum of money, sometimes an unexpected sum of money that enables you to start over or begin something new as well. So tangible new offers and opportunities. Some of you in the month of January may be moving, preparing to move, maybe considering a move. or relocation. And some of you, this may be the start of a new job or career path. For some of you, it may be a combination of both. People often these days move or relocate for work, for jobs too. So some of you, this could be the opportunity to do both. It's a new beginning, a new start. Some of you, it may be, so that's in the Pentacles is usually job, work, career, you know, that tangible sector of your life, or material issues. You know, it could be buying a new home, moving into a new home. I will tell you that you have two major arcana cards, 2 pentacles and 1 wand. So there is a focus in the material aspect of your life over the last half of January or so. But I am feeling too, like for some of you, this is to do with relationships. This tangible new beginning has something to do with relationships as well. So for those of you for whom that resonates, the Ace of Pentacles could be maybe the opportunity, the beginning of making a move with your partner that takes the relationship to a deeper level in a practical way, like you know, getting engaged or moving in with each other, or I don't really feel like for a lot of you it's marriage, although it could be, because this is a new start and new beginning, so it could be maybe talking about moving in together, or doing something that cements a deeper relationship, that sort of makes the commitment that you have a little deeper with each other in a practical way. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is paired with, clarified by the major arcana card of Strength. This is about, strength is about, the energy of this card is about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. It's significant, profound energy because it's major arcana card. It's about addressing whatever your fears, doubts, insecurities are about this tangible new beginning, Sagittarius, whether it's, you know, starting a new job, maybe moving, relocating, or moving and relocating to start a new job. You could be starting a new business, buying your first home. You could be moving into the beginning of a deeper commitment with your partner in a practical sort of way. Strength would imply that there's some fears or doubts or insecurities, the things you need to address inside yourself, which is something that takes a fair amount of strength. Humility, wisdom, honesty, real deep, you know, self-analysis and honesty. But it's also what you gain more of by going through this process, you know, kind of wrestling with your demons, facing them head on. Some of them may turn out to be just fears that aren't really substantial or substantiated, and for some of you, they may be things that actually you need to look at and make decisions about and deal with and tackle and kind of move through that. So, you know, regardless of whether this resonates, Sagittarius, in the emotional or relationship area of your life, whether it's job, work, career area of your life, the energy fundamentally remains the same. There's a new beginning, or an opportunity for a new beginning that's going to make a difference in your life in a practical, tangible, day-to-day kind of way. You may have some fears about it, some anxieties or concerns or self-doubts about it. You know, is this really what I want to do? Can I do this? Am I able to achieve this? Am I good enough? Do I have the skills? Do I have the commitment level? You know, this is kind of new. You're being strongly advised to kind of move into that, face those head on. Figure out what's real, if there's any changes or decisions, well, there's a decision to be made. It's just about moving head forward into this. Some of you, it's about making the decision whether or not you want to move into this new beginning or not. Some of you, you've already made the decision to do it. And over the last half of January, maybe going into a little bit of February, you know, it's about kind of struggling and overcoming these fears, doubts, insecurities. Now, at or towards the end of January I hope I didn't say 2017. We're into 2018 now, but sometimes that early transition, forgive me if I say 2017, it's 2018. So at or towards the end of this month of January 2018, we have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like the energy kind of continues for most of you in the same vein. The Seven of Wands, it's fire energy. That's the element which governs the suit. And in the tarot, the energy of this suit, it's fire energy. So it's very dynamic, fluid, action-oriented, fiery, passionate, enthusiastic energy. It's the energy of creation, of creating, building, and manifesting. Can sometimes point to things like career, artistic or creative endeavors, projects, you know, building on an idea, making it into reality. The Seven of Wands is a defensive card. It's a card that can represent holding on to something that you have, defending, protecting, guarding, holding on to, standing up for something that you feel very strongly about. Could be standing up for yourself or someone else. It could represent not wanting to back down or budge or compromise, or give up something that you feel very attached to because of how much you've invested in it, whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, a way of thinking even, because it is defensive energy. Sometimes it can represent defensive energy in a not quite as positive way. Sometimes we can be defensive and we can hold on to things because of how attached we are to them, or how long we've been doing a certain thing or looking at something a certain way, when in fact we really should take a look at perhaps letting go of something. And it can also be holding on and standing up in a positive way as well. It may resonate differently depending on who's watching. So there's defensive energy there, holding on, standing up for, and it's clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, some more earth energy here. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of reflection and assessment, which is what the number 7 points to: reflection, assessment, motives, motivations. It's harvest time on this card. You can see this woman is she's done the work to grow her fruit. She's planted the seed, she's nurtured them carefully, taken care of them, and it's the fruit is grown and ripened. It's ready to be picked. She's getting ready to pick it, but right now she's taking a step back and she's looking at what she has. What has her efforts gotten her with everything that she's invested in this, whether it's a job, a career path, a financial thing, a project, a relationship. She's taking a look at what she actually has and kind of comparing it to the efforts that she's put into it, the investment that she's made. Does it fit? Has she gotten out of it? Is she where she thinks she should be at this time, or he should be? What has your investment of time, work, energy, money, love, etc. gotten you? Are you happy with what you have in whatever area of your life this is resonating in? So, and you make your decisions based on that. Does what does your harvest match the efforts you put into it? If not, is it worth continuing? Should you pick it, make some changes, and hope for a better harvest? Next growth season, should you just pick it and leave? Should you just bag the entire thing and move on and decide to do something completely different? So it's a card of reflection and assessment on what you have. So I feel like, Sagittarius, whatever this kind of tangible, maybe practical new opportunity, new beginning is, you may have some fears and doubts and insecurities about it. Some of you may want to hold on to the old or what you've been doing because, you may be afraid to leave something comfortable, familiar, known, even if you're not exactly where you want to be, or you're not moving towards where you want to be, just because the unfamiliar can be kind of scary sometimes. Some of you, this may be, in the relationship area of your life, the energy, while the specifics and details are always going to vary because it's a general reading, and so you can't pinpoint it down to one specific thing, the energy remains the same. If this is in the emotional or relationship area of your life, again, there's a tangible, practical new opportunity, new beginning in front of you. It looks like there's some doubts, fears, insecurities, maybe a little bit of defensiveness about it, holding on to the known or the familiar. And it could just be that there's, an opportunity to do something new or different, or take it in a different direction, whatever area of your life this is resonating in. And you're making a concentrated effort to kind of not be completely spontaneous and impulsive and emotion driven about it. You're kind of trying to take a step back and look at it. Those of you who are feeling kind of defensive and not wanting to maybe start something new or take something to a different level, or kind of step off the beaten path or whatever path you've been on, this could be advice too from spirit to, okay, take a step back, remember strength. It's about facing whatever fears, doubts, insecurities you have, and in facing those, take a step back and kind of look at, okay, where are you at in this area of your life? Are you happy with where you're at? Have you reached your goals, or do you feel like what you're doing, the investment that you're putting into this thing, is moving you closer to your goals? That can help kind of, ease and dissipate, sometimes even reverse any fears or doubts or insecurities. But you have to have kind of the courage to kind of look at what they are and kind of take them apart piece by piece, because that's going to help you either continue on this new path that you've begun, or make a decision about a new opportunity that you have. And your overall energy and advice from the bottom of the deck, Sagittarius, is the Fool. My favorite card in the tarot. I love the Fool. And I love the Gilded Tarot's depiction of him. I've sometimes thought about maybe getting a tattoo of the Fool on my back or something. So the Fool represents stepping off the beaten path, taking a risk, doing something you haven't done before, remembering, because the Fool is here to remind us that it's always a good idea to set goals, to have goals, and to work step by step to achieve those goals, but also to remember, because the Fool is here to remind us that the true value is really in the journey itself, not in reaching the destination so much. It's about what we learn and how we grow and how we evolve through our path in life. All the lessons we learn, sometimes they're wonderful lessons, sometimes they're painful, challenging, costly lessons, but the true joy and value of life is in that process, is in the journey, and the Fool is here to remind us about that. Of course, we don't want to take the Fool to the opposite extreme, because, you know, as I always say, the Fool is prone to leaping without looking and jumping into the pool before he checks to see if there's any water, how much water's in there. So we want to kind of balance that. But it is about doing something different, doing something you never have done before, taking a risk, doing something that might be a little bit risky. But it's always to achieve something different. If you want something you've never had before, or you want something different or extraordinary, you have to kind of step off the beaten path and do something different or extraordinary in order to achieve that. So it is about that. So that's the focus for the next few weeks of January. And maybe, I mean, if this is a tangible new beginning, it's going to continue to play out as time goes on. It looks like Spirit is strongly encouraging you to take a look at this new beginning. It looks really promising, whatever area of your life it's resonating in. You know, and as I always say, we live in a free will zone. No matter how strongly Spirit might say, hey, this looks like a really good opportunity, a really good path for you to take, you don't have to. You can take another path, or you can remain on the path that you're on. I'm not a huge believer in one specifically right path and one specifically wrong path, unless you're on a path that's really harmful or destructive. Because any path that we learn lessons on has value. Sometimes those lessons are about, you know, when we're at the after we choose that path, it's like, wow, I wish I hadn't done that. I learned a really important lesson. And those can be kind of costly, challenging, or painful lessons. And sometimes it's about, you know, taking a risk, making a choice, choosing a path, and at the end of it, you're like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. It was scary and I was afraid to do it, but look what I have now. So it really just kind of depends on what you think and what you choose. But every path has value that we learn on Sagittarius. But I will tell you that this particular new beginning or new opportunity or potential for the majority of you looks really good. And the Fool is saying, you know, take a risk, try something different, try something new. Let me look and see what the next card behind the Fool would be. Six of Wands, victory and triumph after a struggle, after a challenge of some kind. This is after maybe taking a risk, and it's a major victory and triumph. This is not like, you know, hey, I lost 3 pounds last month. This is a major victory and triumph after you went off to achieve something or try something new or struggle with something. So extra validation that whatever this is, it looks quite promising, Sagittarius. So that pretty much wraps up your January 2018 mid-month reading. I hope that you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. Maybe it gave you a little bit of food for thought or insight and clarity. Thank you for watching. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can go to my YouTube channel's About button, click on it for more information, details, my contact info. You can also find my contact info attached to the description of every video that I post. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you and set up a personal reading with you just as quickly as we can. And for those of you who just want more immediate quick answers to whatever quick question or two you have, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo. It's a cool app, very easy, fast, convenient to use, you know, and you can get in touch with me a lot quicker that way. They have one question, one answer options, or you can open it up into a little reading via chat. They also have a video chat option too, which is pretty cool. And that's more immediate because we're not looking at the longer, more complex readings. So check that out if if you're of a mind to. I will see you all again in a few weeks for the February 2018 general readings. Until then, as always, Sagittarius, remember, I wish you joy, peace, happiness, and a blessed, blessed life as we begin this beautiful new year. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.